This week's Hometown Happenings is brought to you by the Detroit Lakes School District.
Welcome to Hometown Happenings. I'm Carol McCarthy here today at the Detroit Lakes School District Administration Building with Doug Froke and coming up also Nancy Olson, and we're here to talk about an upcoming election.
We are, yes, on November 5th, and the school district will be going out, Carol, and asking the voters to give the school board the authority to bond for approximately $59 million in capital improvement and an addition of a new elementary. So that'll be taking place again, as I said, on November 5th. And so that's what today's discussion is about.
Okay, well, let's first start off, Doug, with maybe a little bit of the history and why, how this project came to be.
Oh, sure. You know, about in 2011, we started to see the enrollment grow moderately, and when we say moderately, we talk about the fact that we don't see an explosion of 100 kids here. We started to see the increase of 40 kids, and then the next year it'd be another increase of maybe 20, that kind of thing. And so what we did was in 2011, then we hired a couple of consultants to come in and ask basically two questions. One, do we have a space problem brought on by moderate enrollment? And then two, do we expect that moderate enrollment growth to continue? And after the consultants stayed within the district for a while and completed their project, they answered both questions in the affirmative. And so what that did then was that we started to look at what are we going to do then in response to their questions, their forecasts for continued moderate enrollment growth. So what that led us to then was we looked at an architectural firm to come in then and help us decide what we would do as it relates to addressing both those questions. Do we have a space problem? Okay, yes. Then what do we need to do to create space to address a continued growth in enrollment? So as it goes then, in the fall of 2012, along with the architectural group and with their assistance, we formed a steering committee that would help the school board or make a recommendation to the school board about what we should do. And for all intent and purposes, what we came out with was that a new building should be constructed, and then the decision was then to take a look at what would be the best for our kids and for our community in terms of programming. And the decision was that an elementary would be the best solution, precipitated largely around the fact that we have at least one grade that creates a little bit of an issue for us, and that's fifth grade. We have fifth grade that takes place in Rossman and in elementary programming, and then fifth grade over at the middle school that receives middle school programming. The steering committee said at that time fifth grade should be in an elementary setting. So what that forced us to do then was look at how we were going to design our programming. So we came up with then a new K-3 elementary school. Grades 4 and 5 would go to Roosevelt, and then proceed on 6, 7, and 8, the middle school, and 9, 12 with the high school. So that's kind of what we took a look at, and that's the antithesis of what took place in the planning and how we got to today. And so that's what we'll be asking the voters. Will they approve the construction of a new K-3 and other renovations to the buildings as part of our K-12 district?
Right. And Doug, why don't you briefly talk about maybe some of those other renovations and additions?
Well, basically what we're looking at is some issues that surround security. With the event that took place in February in Sandy Hook, Connecticut, and the tragedies surrounding that event, we took a look at our own selves, and are we really preparing our students and family for a safe environment? One of the things that we saw was no, we're not, especially as the middle school and the high school. You walk in those entrances, anybody can go in virtually, unnoticed and that kind of thing. So we need to make those buildings safer. We had core issues around renovation. One would be security. to finishing off air conditioning in the district relative to about 60% of Roosevelt Elementary being not air conditioned. So finish that off. And then the parking and the traffic flow around Roosevelt and the middle school. So those are core issues. One more item would be the exterior of the middle school. It's lost its efficiency as it relates to not only exterior but insulation for the interior. So those are core issues that we really wanted to address as part of the project.
All right, Doug Froke, Superintendent of Detroit Lakes School District, here with me at the Administration Building on Hometown Happenings and talking about a vote that's coming up on November 5th. And we'll have the website up there as well, talking about more information, getting more of the facts laid out in full detail. And we're going to take a break and come back with Business Manager Nancy Olson next. Welcome back to Hometown Happenings here at the Detroit Lakes School District Administration Building, here with Business Manager Nancy Olson. And Nancy, Superintendent Froke was talking a little bit about the details of the project, how we got into it, what is going to be actually done. But people can find out more information on this website.
Yes, at www.dlschools.net, we've got 4 sections of information pertaining to voting information, detailed information concerning the overall project, property tax information, as well as some weekly informational brochures that the district is distributing to our K-12 parents.
All right, and of course this again is all in light of the November 5th election, and we'll talk about polling places in just a second too. But Nancy, just talk a little bit about maybe how this election would affect, if it's passed, how it would affect a homeowner, of a $100,000 home.
Yep, the overall tax impact for this bond would be about $11 per month for a $100,000 home. And on our website, we've got detailed property tax information concerning all different property types, as well as a link to our financial advisor, Ehlers, where property owners can get more information about any potential property refunds and other tax impact situations.
All right, perfect. Well, let's talk a little bit about the actual night of November 5th. Actually, before that, there is going to be another informational meeting coming up here in the end of October.
Yes, we've had a couple informational meetings, and the next one scheduled is on October 28th. We are determining a location, so watch our media outlets for where that location will be.
All right, so come Tuesday, November 5th, where are the polls located where people from Detroit Lakes School District can go and vote?
The polling places will be at the Detroit Lakes Middle School and the Detroit Lakes High School, and the polling hours are from 2 p.m. until 8 p.m.
Right, excellent. So we've got a lot of information to get out about this election, this building bond election that's happening November 5th. And anything more to add? I mean, this has been quite a process.
It has been. Virtually every student in our school district will be impacted by this project as we're building the new elementary, as Superintendent Froke stated, and we're also having some additions and major remodeling at the middle school, Roosevelt, and also in addition at the high school. So every school building will be affected by this bond project. We've taken a lot of time in terms of what the district's needs are and putting that forth to the voters.
All right. Again, Nancy Olson is the business manager here at the administration building. And I think if people wanted to talk to a person, they could either call you or Doug.
Absolutely. You can reach us at 847-9271 or once again at the website. We've got a whole lot of information.
All right. So get the facts on the upcoming vote November 5th here in Detroit Lakes School District. And I want to thank Nancy, business manager, and Superintendent Doug Froke for their time today. And again, check out the facts at the website. Thanks again, Nancy.
Thank you, Carol.
And that's going to wrap up Hometown Happenings from the Detroit Lakes School District Administration Office. I'm Carol McCarthy.